Get out of the wagon now!
Spencer's journey back to Montana isn't going to be easy, and the latest trailer for 1923 Season 2, Episode 6 makes that crystal clear. But that's not even the biggest shock. New leaks suggest that Alexandra's situation is far worse than we imagined in Teonna. She might be walking straight into a storm of blood and vengeance. With the Duttons on the edge of war, Donald Whitfield tightening his grip, and betrayals lurking in the shadows, Episode 6 is shaping up to be the most intense yet. So let's dive into the trailer breakdown and the leaked details that could change everything. From what we've seen in the trailer, Spencer's already in trouble before he even reaches Montana. We see him running through train cars looking desperate, like he's either being chased or hunting someone down himself. Some fans believe this could be another train robbery, but let's be real. 3 separate train robbery plots in one season? That feels like overkill. Instead, the bigger threat here is Donald Whitfield. The leaked details suggest that Donald has sent men to stop Spencer long before he reaches home. Banner Creighton has already informed Whitfield that Spencer is coming, and they know what kind of fighter he is. They've tried to take Jacob down, and they nearly succeeded. But Spencer, he's the wild card, the soldier, the one who can actually turn the tide. Whitfield won't wait for him to step onto Montana soil. He'll send killers, and if the leaks are right, they'll board that train disguised as regular passengers. Spencer might not realize it at first, but the moment that train leaves the station, he's already in enemy territory. The trailer hints at an intense fight sequence, possibly inside one of the train cars. A brief shot shows a figure attacking Spencer, though it's too quick to tell who. What's clear is that he's outnumbered, and this fight could determine whether he even makes it to Montana alive. If he survives, it won't be without injuries. Some leaks even suggest Spencer could be forced off the train, entirely stranded miles away from home. If that happens, getting back to Montana will be even more brutal than we thought. While Spencer fights for his life on that train, Alexandra's journey takes a chilling turn. When we last saw her, she was finally safe. Or at least that's what we were led to believe. A kind British family rescued her, offering shelter and support. But if there's one thing we've learned from 1923, it's that safety is always an illusion. And according to leaked details, Alexandra might have just walked into an even greater nightmare. Rumors suggest that this so-called kind family isn't what they seem. Some sources claim that they are involved in something far more sinister, human trafficking or a sex work operation. If this is true, Alexandra isn't just stuck in a foreign land without money. She's now in the hands of people who see her as a commodity rather than a person. The trailer gives us a glimpse of Alexandra in distress, her face filled with panic, her surroundings unfamiliar. A woman's voice is heard in the background saying, "There's always a price to pay dear." It's unclear who's speaking, but the tone is unsettling, almost like a warning. This could explain why Alexandra still hasn't reunited with Spencer. If she had the means, she would have been on a train to Montana by now. Instead, she's trapped, possibly being forced into a situation she never saw coming. And here's where things get even darker. Some leaks suggest that Alexandra will be sold to the highest bidder. And guess who might have a hand in this? Donald Whitfield. Yes, you heard that right. Whitfield isn't just an enemy of the Duttons. He's a man who controls people, their land, their futures. If Alexandra ends up under his influence, it won't just be about getting back to Spencer anymore. It'll be about survival. The real question is, will she escape before it's too late? Or will Spencer have to fight a war on 2 fronts, one for his land and another for the woman he loves? While Spencer and Alexandra fight battles of their own back in Montana, Jacob Dutton is preparing for the inevitable. He knows that war is coming, whether he likes it or not. The trailer for Episode 6 shows Jacob standing on his ranch, staring into the distance with a grim expression. It's a moment of silence before the storm, and from the leaked details, we now know why. The state officials have finally made their move, and it's worse than expected. According to leaks, Donald Whitfield has pulled every string possible, turning the law itself against the Duttons. The sheriff, once a neutral force, is now in a difficult position. In the trailer, we hear him telling Jacob, "This fight ain't worth losing everything over." But for Jacob, there's no choice. His ranch, his legacy, his family, it's all on the line. Leaked reports suggest that Whitfield has managed to convince certain state officials to begin legal proceedings against the Duttons. If true, this means the government could seize their land through legal means, rendering all of Jacob's efforts meaningless. But let's be real. Jacob isn't the kind of man to let paperwork decide his fate. One of the biggest leaks suggests that Jacob will go on the offensive, making a bold and unexpected move against Whitfield's men before they can strike first. Could this be the moment where he finally takes the gloves off? The trailer hints at a potential ambush, showing a brief shot of Jacob and his men riding out, guns drawn. If this is the case, episode 6 might just be the beginning of the all-out war we've been waiting for. But there's one more complication: the law. If Jacob acts too soon, the state could use it as justification to officially strip him of his land. If he waits too long, Whitfield will tighten his grip even further. It's a dangerous game, and Jacob is running out of moves. One wrong step, and the Dutton legacy could be over before Spencer even gets home. Teonna has been running for too long. She's fought, she's suffered, and she's lost almost everyone she ever cared about. But according to leaked details, episode 6 will mark a turning point. Teonna is done being hunted. Now she's the one preparing to strike. The trailer gives us a glimpse of Teonna standing in a vast open landscape, her face hardened with determination. A voiceover plays, possibly from Hank's son, saying, "You can't run forever." This could be the moment Teonna realizes that no matter where she goes, the church will always come for her. The nuns, the priests, the law, they all want her either dead or back in their grasp. But instead of continuing to run, Teonna might finally choose to fight back. Leaked details suggest that she won't be alone. May the woman who helped Teonna after her escape could play a bigger role in what's coming next. Some rumors even claim that May will deliver devastating news. Pete, Teonna's last real friend, has been found and brutally killed by Father Renault's men. If this is true, then Teonna's revenge is no longer a possibility. It's a certainty. The trailer gives us subtle hints that something big is coming. One shot shows Father Renault gripping the sides of his desk, looking furious. Another moment reveals a group of mounted riders traveling across the plains, though it's unclear who they are. Could they be warriors coming to stand with Teonna? Or are they another threat sent by the church? One of the most intriguing leaks suggests that Teonna will set a trap for Father Renault himself. She knows he won't stop until she's dead, so instead of waiting for him to come to her, she might take the fight straight to him. If this is true, episode 6 could set up one of the most brutal confrontations of the season. But there's one major problem: Teonna might not survive it. Leaks suggest that while she's willing to fight, she's still massively outnumbered. If she does go after Father Renault, she'll need to be smart, careful, and ruthless. Because if she fails, she won't just lose her chance at revenge, she'll lose everything. The tension in Montana is reaching its boiling point, and episode 6 is setting the stage for what could be the most explosive conflict of the season. The Duttons have been pushed into a corner. Spencer is fighting for his life miles away, and Donald Whitfield's grip on Montana is stronger than ever. But the latest leaks suggest that the real war isn't starting with gunfire. It's starting with a standoff. In the trailer, we see the sheriff confronting Jacob Dutton, warning him that Spencer's return could make things worse. "Tell him to turn back," the sheriff says, his face filled with worry. But we all know Jacob. There's no chance he's backing down, especially not now. The leaked details reveal that Jacob and Whitfield are about to have their most intense face-to-face confrontation yet. No middlemen, no hired thugs, just two powerful men, both determined to take control of Montana. According to behind-the-scenes leaks, there's a high-stakes meeting between Jacob the sheriff and Whitfield in episode 6. The state officials are watching closely, and if Jacob makes one wrong move, they'll have the legal excuse they need to take his land away for good. Whitfield knows this, and that's why he's playing the long game. He doesn't need to shoot Jacob, he just needs to get him to snap. But Jacob isn't the only one being pushed to his limits. The trailer shows Cara Dutton standing by the fireplace, gripping a letter with a distressed look on her face. Could this be a message from Spencer? Or is it something far worse? Some leaks suggest that she'll receive word of another attack, possibly one that puts the entire ranch at risk. If Whitfield can't take their land legally, he'll burn them out. Meanwhile, Banner Creighton isn't sitting idle either. The last time we saw him, he was barely escaping with his life, and it's clear that he's looking for revenge. The trailer gives us a brief shot of him riding with a group of men, their faces shadowed by the setting sun. Some fans believe this could be a secret attack on the ranch, a final attempt to cripple the Duttons before Spencer arrives. But here's where things get really interesting. Episode 6 might also introduce a new faction. There have been rumors that another powerful figure will enter the fight, someone who isn't entirely on Whitfield's side, but isn't exactly a friend to the Duttons either. Could this be a rival rancher, a politician, or even someone from Spencer's past? Whatever the case, the balance of power in Montana is shifting, and the outcome of this meeting could decide everything. One of the most shocking leaks suggests that this standoff won't end with words. By the time the credits roll on episode 6, at least one major character will be dead. Whether it's Banner, a state official, or one of Jacob's own men, this meeting isn't just a negotiation. It's a battlefield waiting to explode. And if the leaks are true, it's only the beginning. Because episode 7, that's when the real war starts. If Spencer thought getting back to Montana was the hard part, he's in for a brutal awakening. Leaked details suggest that by the time he arrives, the war will have already begun, and he's walking straight into a trap. We know from the trailer that the sheriff warns Jacob about Spencer's return. Tell him to turn back. It's too late. That line alone confirms what we feared. Whitfield isn't just waiting for Spencer, he's actively preparing to eliminate him the second he steps off that train. And here's where things get even more dangerous. The leaks reveal that Whitfield isn't just using hired guns. He's using the law itself to take Spencer down. Apparently, state officials have declared Spencer a fugitive. Why? Because of his actions overseas. Let's not forget, Spencer has killed before, and while it was in self-defense, Whitfield has enough influence to twist the narrative. There's talk that he's using Spencer's violent past to paint him as a dangerous outlaw, making his arrival in Montana not just a family reunion, but a potential arrest. If this leak is true, it means Spencer won't just have to fight off Whitfield's men. He'll also have the law breathing down his neck. And that's where things get even trickier. The sheriff isn't exactly an enemy, but he's not a friend either. We already know from previous episodes that he's torn between enforcing the law and knowing that Whitfield is a corrupt man. If Spencer steps off that train and the sheriff is forced to arrest him, it could be the end before the fight even begins. But let's be honest, Spencer isn't the type to go quietly. If the trailer is any indication, he's already in survival mode. One leaked scene description suggests that the train station will be the site of a massive standoff, with Jacob's men, Whitfield's men, and the law all present, guns drawn. The tension will be unbearable, and one wrong move could ignite a bloodbath. Some sources claim that Spencer will escape the law's grasp before an arrest can happen. But how? That's where things get murky. One theory is that Alexandra will somehow intervene. Maybe she arrives just in time to warn him. Another possibility, someone within the sheriff's ranks decides to switch sides, realizing that Whitfield is the true villain. Either way, one thing is certain: Spencer is walking into chaos. His return isn't just a homecoming, it's a battlefield waiting to erupt. And if the leaks are accurate, episode 6 will end with a gunfight that sets the stage for an even bloodier episode 7. But Spencer isn't the only one with unfinished business. Teonna Rainwater's story is about to take a violent and unforgettable turn. Teonna Rainwater has been running for too long. She's been hunted, beaten, and brutalized. But if the latest leaks are true, that time is over. The hunted is about to become the hunter. At the end of episode 5, Teonna had a painful realization. She can't run forever. Her survival has come at a great cost, and those she loves have paid the price. Hank is dead. Pete is missing, possibly worse. And while she's managed to escape Father Renaud and his monstrous priest for now, her past is still chasing her. But that's about to change. Leaked details suggest that episode 6 will be the turning point for Teonna. The trailer hints at this shift, showing her sharpening a blade in the moonlight. It's a haunting image, one that speaks to the rage that has been simmering beneath her surface since the very first episode. If the leaks are to be believed, that rage is finally going to explode. The biggest rumor surrounding episode 6? Teonna isn't just trying to escape anymore. She's going back to finish what was started. A source close to production claims that she will deliberately walk into the lion's den, returning to the boarding school where her torment began. And she won't be alone. Apparently, Teonna will seek out survivors, other indigenous children who have suffered under Renaud's rule. She knows that she can't do this alone, but with the right people by her side, she could burn the entire place to the ground. This aligns with something we saw in the trailer, a brief shot of Father Renaud looking over his shoulder, his expression dark with worry. It's a rare moment of weakness for a man who has always been in control, but for the first time he knows, Teonna is coming back, and she's not coming to beg for mercy. There's also a massive leak regarding Pete Plenty Clouds. Many assumed he was dead after his brutal attack, but one source suggests he may still be alive. Barely. If Teonna finds him in episode 6, it could be the final push she needs to unleash the full extent of her wrath. Imagine Teonna standing over Pete's broken body, realizing that everything she has tried to protect has been ripped away. If this theory holds, her decision to fight back won't just be about justice anymore. It'll be about revenge. But let's not forget one major obstacle. Father Renault is not a weak man. He is violent, ruthless, and he has the church and the government backing him. If Teonna makes her move too soon, she could be walking into a suicide mission. Some leaks even suggest that one of her closest allies will betray her, tipping off Renault before she can strike. If that happens, her plan could fall apart before it even begins. There's also speculation that her father runs his horse will finally catch up to her in this episode. We know he has been searching for her, and from the trailer we see a shot of him in the shadows, watching something intently. Could he arrive just in time to help her? Or will he, like so many others, be forced to watch helplessly as Teonna fights for her life? Regardless of how it plays out, one thing is certain. Teonna's story will take a violent turn in episode 6. Whether she wins or loses, blood will be spilled. And if she does succeed in her revenge, it won't come without consequences. Episode 6 isn't just another chapter. It's the moment everything comes crashing down. Spencer is fighting his way back to Montana, walking straight into Whitfield's trap. Alexandra is trapped in a nightmare of her own, with little hope of escape. Jacob is on the brink of war, facing impossible odds. And Teonna? She's stepping onto a path soaked in blood, one that will either lead to freedom or destruction. The leaks all point to one terrifying truth. This episode will end in chaos. Rumors suggest that the final minutes will set up the biggest confrontation of the season, possibly even a death that changes everything. Could it be a major character? Could Spencer, Alexandra, or even Jacob fall victim to Whitfield's brutal tactics? At this point, nothing is off the table. One thing is certain, episode 6 will leave us breathless, and episode 7 will bring the fire. The war for Montana has officially begun. If you're as excited as I am for what's coming next, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring you more theories, leaks, and deep dives into 1923 and beyond. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update. Things are only getting crazier from here. Let me know in the comments what you think will happen in episode 6. Do you think Spencer will survive Whitfield's trap? Will Teonna get her revenge? Let's discuss.